Kisoro, Uganda, a town gifted by nature, home to Muhabura, volcanic mountains, sloping terrain, calderas, nearest town to Mgahinga Gorilla National Park, multiple lakes, and twisting Kabale-Kisoro Road. Before I unpack our delightful experience in Kisoro, I would also like to mention Kisoro's close proximity to Bwindi Impenetrable Forest National Park and the Kuya Forest Reserve. This makes it a well-kept secret with massive tourism potential, as you'll find out when you traverse this picturesque southwestern Ugandan town. On our way from Bwindi Impenetrable Forest National Park, the heavens opened, which was a blessing in disguise as the road was fairly dusty. As we edged closer to Kisoro, we could just see Mount Muhabura, which meant it was also seeing us. Having passed through sparsely populated areas on our way to Kisoro, it was a pleasant surprise to see a booming town full of human passion and activity. To our left was the central Kisoro market, where locals sell their produce and cross the street to buy household goods. We quickly drove through town and went to a hiding place for the night. We were slightly exhausted and we needed to get some rest before we could explore the town the next morning. Luckily enough, we secured sufficient rest in the night. Investigating my surroundings in the morning led to this amazing discovery. I was able to see Mount Muhabura from my balcony. It was gorgeous and pleasant to see this from the comfort of my terrace. It was such a clear view, and I was tempted to venture out even before breakfast to feed my curiosity. It was breathtaking. It looked too close, at the same time too far. Catching up with the rest of the group and our tour guide Noah, we headed off to Sagitwe Hill. Our plan was to obtain panoramic views of the entire town, part of the Virunga Mountains, Lake Mutanda, and the border town of Bunagana. This borders Uganda and Democratic Republic of Congo / DRC. Sagitwe Terraced Hill at 1 o'clock is a short drive from Kisoro town and affords one with scenic views of Kisoro district. Virunga Mountains, consisting of 8 major volcanoes, 3 of which are covered in clouds in front of us, are located in Uganda. We stopped to look at the Arabic coffee plants that grow in highland areas. Arabic coffee beans have half the amount of caffeine when compared to Robusta coffee beans and are more dear. Most of the local communities grow climbing beans, potatoes, bananas, and sorghum. We were fascinated by these climbing plants. The climb up Sagitwe Hill was not for the faint-hearted. It was physically demanding, but a walk in the park for the locals. There is cloud cover over Mount Muhabura on the left, Mgahinga in the middle, and Sabinyo on the right. Straight ahead is Lake Mutanda, which is at 12 o'clock. The border town of Bunagana is at 12 o'clock, where the eyes meet the horizon. Mount Muhabura, which is at 4,127 meters in elevation, is located in Uganda and Rwanda, and Mgahinga in the middle is located in Uganda and Rwanda at 3,474 meters, and to the extreme right is Sabinyo, which is at 3,674 meters, shared by Uganda, Congo and Rwanda. The descent was rather precarious as the path had a few areas with gravel. This made it increasingly challenging to multitask and avoid tumbling down the hill. We were soon back in the comfort of our car as we left the gorgeous mountains in the background. All roads were now leading to Karunga Hill for another off-the-record scenic location in Kisoro. Mgahinga Gorilla National Park is about 15 kilometers by road south of Kisoro, where one can see mountain gorillas and golden monkeys to their eyes' satisfaction. Uganda has more than half of the world mountain gorilla population, found on the Virunga mountain slopes in Mgahinga Gorilla National Park and Bwindi Impenetrable Forest National Park. Admittedly, our legs were not pleased with us as we had another trek up Karunga Hill to experience a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see Lake Mutanda from an advantage point. Lake Mulehe in our line of vision is joined to Lake Mutanda by River Mucha, and thus Lake Mutanda to the left. The footpath was on the edge of the hill, which was rather unnerving, but I guess this was not a bother to the locals. A eucalyptus forest had been planted on the steep slopes of this hill, which must have taken a lot of skill to execute. We enjoyed the company of the midday sun, which pierced through the tree canopy as we approached this secluded viewpoint. To our surprise, Karunga Hill viewpoint lived up to its reputation, and it was awesome. Lake Mutanda is one of the many tourist attractions that Kisoro is proud of. Seeing it from this aerial perspective was undeniably beautiful. It has 15 islands and is 56 meters deep. Having nourished our eyes to their satisfaction, we proceeded to the Twin Lakes. Surprisingly, we were making headway. Even with our limited time to spare, we seemed to be pleased with the progress. We managed to steal a view of Muhabura, Mgahinga and Sabinyo mountains with minimal cloud cover. We made our way through town, which gave us a less busy view of Kisoro town. We only had a few minutes to spare for lunch. We gobbled up our food as time was of the essence. Certainly Mount Muhabura lived up to its local meaning, Okuhabura, to guide. In whichever direction we went around Kisoro, it was right in our face, which essentially meant we could rely on it for direction. Our next stop was the Twin Lakes. These include Lake Chahafi and Lake Kayumba. We were fortunate enough to access Lake Chahafi through Lake Chahafi Resort Gardens, which is an upmarket resort in Kisoro. This is Lake Chahafi, which is one of the crater lakes formed through volcanic eruption. Lake Chahafi in the local language meant a shortcut. People cross from Rwanda to Uganda and vice versa. Lake Chahafi is another hidden gem in Kisoro, which is off the beaten track. Lake Chahafi is famous for its diversity and large population of bird species in southwestern Uganda. Its counterpart Lake Kayumba lies in the east, which is to our left. Unfortunately, we were unable to make it to Lake Kayumba as we were pressed for time. We were reliably informed that the hills across were in Rwanda, and that gave us a sense of perspective on how near Rwanda was. Engrossed by the healthy-looking climbing beans, we are reminded once more how fertile these volcanic soils are. Back on the road, we enjoyed the scenic and meandering Kisoro-Kabale road. It was clearly visible. As the driver, one's eyes should never be taken off the road. Thank you for making it this far. Till next time.